And we're live. What's going on, y'all? Welcome to Real Spill Wednesdays on the Truth Comes to Light podcast. I'm your host, Jay Colvin, and welcome to Real Spill Wednesdays. For those of y'all that are new, on Real Spill Wednesdays, we talk about life topics and motivational quotes. Please be sure to check out my previous Real Spill Wednesdays on the channel. Also, be sure to check out my podcast where we talk about news from all over the world, the music industry, and more. So if you're interested in that, please be sure to check out my podcast on the channel. I just dropped one a couple of days ago. I think it was pretty interesting. So yeah, please be sure to check it out. Also, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Turn on post notifications so you get the latest updates on when I upload a podcast episode or a Real Spill Wednesday. We are almost at 100 videos. We're like at, I think, 94. This will make it 95. And if I do a YouTube show, it'll be 96 videos. So I'm really happy and I really appreciate each and every one of y'all that has subscribed to the channel, that has viewed my page, that has liked, commented, and just did everything y'all can to support the channel. And I really appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. Let's keep on going. Let's keep on making the Truth Comes to Light podcast something special. And I'll keep on bringing content each and every chance that I get. And I promise y'all and I guarantee you that this is going to be the next big thing. So yeah, I'm really happy. We're at 100 videos and there's going to be more keep on coming out. It's going to come and I'm really happy. So I appreciate each and every one of y'all that are supporting the channel. Keep on liking, keep on commenting, sharing the video, do whatever y'all possibly can. Also, be sure to follow my Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at The Truth Comes to Light podcast, because who knows, I might post something on one of those pages and that's kind of like a foreshadow on what I may talk about on the next podcast episode. But y'all wouldn't know that if y'all don't follow any one of those pages. So follow the Truth Comes to Light podcast on the social media platforms. So with that in mind, let's get straight into this podcast slash Real Spill Wednesday episode. Now, I have a special Real Spill Wednesday for y'all. Now, last month, I don't think it was last podcast. I mean, not last podcast. Last Real Spill Wednesday. It was the one before that. I had said, say no to suicide. That was the Real Spill for that week. So be sure to check that one out. So September was Suicide Prevention Month. This month, October, is Say No to Drugs. So Drug Prevention Month. Now, I really want to get into this because I would be lying if I said that I haven't used any type of drugs in my life. Now, everyone has used drugs, whether it's the illegal type of drugs or just like regular drugs for allergies or whatever. Like, you've used something. But me personally, I have used drugs because of the simple fact I had tore my ACL and I had tore my meniscus, so they had gave me these opioids so that way I can heal the pain and do all of that. And that's kind of crazy because luckily for me, I didn't get hooked on it. I didn't get addicted to it. I didn't get none of that. And I praise the Lord that I didn't. But you have some people that go through tragic freak accidents, and they get hooked on these drugs. The doctor will give them opioids, and then it comes to find out they'll get hooked on it. Something as simple as trying to fix a problem, a freak accident, turns to them on the back end getting hooked on something that their doctors prescribed them. And that's real deal crazy. So according to 2022, according to NPR.org, I say, I don't know why I said according to 2022, but in 2022, there was more than 100,000 drug overdose deaths. Many of them was from opioids, fentanyl to be exact. Like, and that was a new record. That was a new record in 2022. Most of them died from fentanyl. Some of them died from more opioids, and some of them died from like your regular like meths, your ecstasy, like your pills like that. Meth isn't a pill, but I'm just saying like other drugs. And I want y'all to understand this. People will say that they use drugs as a form of healing from tragic accidents that happen in their lifetime, and they get high for this amount of time, and they just do this to heal the pain, and they do it over and over and over again. What y'all have to understand is, yeah, you're getting high and you're blocking out that pain for only a couple of hours. Once that high fades away, you still have to face the reality of what you're going through, whether that's your parents dying, you lost your job, or anything that happened. If you get high, yeah, you're going to be healed for that amount of time. But once you come back to a reality and you're now sober, you still got to go through the same thing. And it's like a continuing cycle that happens with people. They'll say that they get high for that reason, and then once that feeling goes away, they keep on going for it, and they keep on going for it just so they can get that feeling again. And that's the wrong way to approach things. You got to approach things with a sober mind. There's better ways to heal problems than to get high and to abuse drugs. You can go to therapy, you can work out, you can do things that you like to do versus getting peer pressured at a young age to do drugs, and now that's your coping mechanism. That shouldn't be your coping mechanism. And it's the crazy thing about it. Most of these people start drugs early. Now, I'm not going to say that weed is a bad drug, but I will say that weed is a gateway drug to more worse drugs out there, like your opioids and meths, crack, like all of that. Weed isn't a bad drug because obviously they have it in like medical things. They have it there, but it's a gateway to more bad drugs, should I say. So, yeah, like you don't want to have drugs be your coping mechanism. I cannot talk right now. Call the hotline. Call the drug abuse hotline. I'll put that down in the description. Because it's crazy how people will literally die left and right from drug overdoses. And it's hard. I know it's hard. Everyone goes through something in life. Everyone goes through something. Everyone has a bad day. Everyone has tragic incidences that happen. But don't let drugs be your coping mechanism. It all starts when they're younger. It all starts when you're younger, of getting peer pressured into doing something just to look cool. But in reality, you're messing up yourself, because those same people that peer pressured you into doing that will 9 times out of 10 not even be there when you're at your lowest, and now you're hooked on them drugs. And now you need somebody to call, and they're not going to be there. But those were the same people that peer pressured you into doing it. So keep that in mind. It starts in high school, and it starts when you're in your young teenage years. That's when most people start. It says on this website, landmarkrecovery.com. I'm going to put it on the screen. So it says in 2015, they found children to be at significantly high risk for trying marijuana beginning around ages 13 and 14. That at a young age. They found comparable risk factors for those kids transitioning to crack or cocaine around ages 15 and 16. Their assessment for the earliest onset of alcohol abuse was pegged to ages 10 and 11 years old. So people use these drugs at these young ages, getting peer pressure, because obviously these kids aren't going to have these drugs just handed to them unless you're just in a bad environment. They see it around. They get influenced by the adults, by the older teens that are already doing it. But that one mistake that you decide to make can cost you. You being in this deep line of addiction And you don't ever want to be addicted to something bad. You always want to be addicted into positive things. But the moment you're addicted to something bad, it's like it's hard to get out, just like with any type of addiction. It's hard to get out of something when you've been doing it for so long. And when you've been doing drugs all of your life, basically, when you see people, you're just like, it's just sad to see, because you could tell that they've been on drugs their entire life. And even the ones that try to get off of it, because I know the withdrawals are hard. I know the relapse is hard. Like, when they try to stop and they go through all of these things to the point to where now that they feel as though they can't stop, because everything that comes with stopping, since their system is messed up, it's hard to them. But why even put yourself in that position in the first place? Say no to drugs. Drugs are bad for you. There's so many gateway drugs, from your simple pens, carts, weed. Like, you see it all in high school. You see it all around that time, where those decisions at a young age are critical towards your future. Decisions that you make in middle school and high school, you may not see it, are either benefiting you or hurting you in your future. In regards to doing drugs, you could be doing drugs in middle school to high school, you're doing something different. High school to when you're older, now you're doing something way worse than what you were doing back in middle school. Just to find that feeling, because whatever you were using, you don't have the feeling for it no more. It don't get you to that high that you want. So you make that transition. But in reality, after you find that high and you're high for a couple of hours, you still got to face the music of the same thing that you were going through before you even got high. And then you got people that'll get high just to get high like that. That's dumb. When you could be having free minds, you could clear your body, have a clear mind, clear understanding of what you're doing, instead of potentially doing these drugs, potentially going outside, doing something bad, doing something illegal, and you don't even remember what you were doing because you were too high. And that's sad that you see that on TV. You see that all the time. They'll be like, the cops will be like, why are you doing what you were doing? I don't even know what I was doing. I was high. Or I was drunk. But it was the decision that you made when you were younger that got you to where you are now. Everything that you do has a reaction. Every action has a reaction. And by doing drugs at a young age, it just causes a chain reaction of negative things. And I know it's hard. I could personally see how someone can get addicted to opioids, because I used them for my injury and I know the feeling. But it's about staying disciplined. I've used alcohol. I've drank alcohol. I have. I would be lying if I said that I didn't. But it's the discipline. Same with weed. Use that. But it's the discipline. It's you not getting addicted to it. You can stop at any point in time. You can get that feeling at any time. But it's up to you if you're going to stop, or you're going to continue to chase the feeling. Because like I said, whatever you're going through, everyone goes through something in life. But if you use drugs as a coping mechanism, it's only going to work for a couple of hours. before when that high goes away, you have to face the reality and you're still back in the same place that you were. So you didn't gain anything out of it. So that decision that you do make on getting peer pressure to try these new drugs or try a drug at all is going to have a negative impact on you for your future. Find ways to better yourself and improve yourself without the drugs. Because drugs can be a bad domino effect for you. You can start drugs, you can start your weed, you can start whatever. Weed leads to meth, opioids, fentanyl, all of that. Then you can go to jail and all you can say is you don't even know what happened. Like, that's not cool. And drug overdoses are only going to get much worse. It was already at 109, a record breaking in 2022. In 2023 isn't going to get much better, but people don't know who to go to. So that's why all you can do is help. You can be the person that changes people in regards to doing drugs, but at the end of the day, they got to be the one to make that change. You can lead them in the right direction. You can lead them. You can tell them to go to therapy. You can take them to therapy. Try whatever you can, but it's up to them to not relapse. And when they do, it's just up to them. And that's a sad thing to see. But all we can do as people is continue to say no to drugs. And keep on pushing and say no to drugs. Because you don't want to see these people commit suicide because of alcohol, drugs, suicide, all of those things. It's too many people in this world that have died because of drug abuse. All started from a decision that they've made at a very young age. Thinking that that's the best way to cope with something. But in reality, it's not, because it only works for a couple of hours. And then they have to be in the same reality that they were in when they did start. Say no to drugs. Say no to drugs. So with that, that is the end of this Real Spill Wednesday episode. I really hope that y'all enjoyed it. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Turn on post notifications so y'all get the latest update on when I post a Real Spill or a podcast episode. I love each and every one of y'all. We're going to keep on grinding. We're going to keep on getting better. And I'm going to keep on providing y'all with content. So with that, I love y'all. And y'all have a nice rest of y'all day.